go first impressions, and
Okay.
then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Sound good?
All right.
All right. Hey guys, it's Rob here. Back again with Prab. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. So as we said before, we're going to follow Prab on her journey here with us and her progress along the way. So she's been coming now for about 3 weeks, and we're just decided it's time to check in.
Yeah. And we had some hiccups personally. Like I got sick,
Yeah.
and so we're just getting back into the swing of things. And
Yeah.
I think that I've been a little bit nervous to
Yeah,
come back
yeah.
because my last workout, it wasn't the best for me. Like I was just, I just got, when you get inside your own
In a
head.
bad headspace.
Yeah, and so that happened. But like after that, I was like, you know what, I can do this. And the biggest thing that I've noticed is I want to actually do this for myself.
Yeah.
And I've been eating clean since I've joined here. And
Yeah.
I think like no more binge eating, so that's always good.
It's baby steps, right? It's a little
yeah,
bit,
exactly.
Yeah. So like you said, I mean, you were on a good roll. We started off, your first week, we did our no sweat intro. We kind of talked about your goals, your life, what you want to get out of this. We had a couple personal training sessions.
Yep.
Then you probably had about 4 or 5 group classes. Six.
Yep.
There you go. 6 group classes. And then you also sat down and met with Janet, our nutritionalist.
Yes.
So we got a good starting base.
Definitely. And I'm so excited because now I feel like the nutrition, it definitely goes hand in hand with your fitness. And I'm so excited to mesh the two and just like really go full force like next week and just be all in this. And I think the biggest thing that you realize is that, once you get into it, and you'll feel sore the first few days.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, oh my God, I can't walk. But then that sore, that feeling, it motivates you because you know that you're doing something for yourself, right? And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. And then you start gaining momentum, right? We talked about it being like a snowball getting bigger and bigger rolling down the hill, right? You don't want to stop that. You want to keep going with it. So that's cool.
And everybody's encouraging of each other too. That's the biggest thing. I think it's the biggest difference compared to a regular gym.
Yeah.
This here, everyone motivates you, whether you're just starting out or someone's trying something new, like pull-ups, and everyone's encouraging. Like every group that I've had the pleasure of, just working out with them, they're so encouraging of one another, and like just as a hockey team would at the end of a game, we all high-five each other at the end.
That's the best part, right?
Yeah.
You all went through the same thing, and I think we were kind of talking about that before, is that that's where those bonds are formed, and that kind of group feeling is because everyone that comes in the gym that day is facing the same thing that day, whereas at a regular gym, everyone's in there doing their own thing. There's like no eye contact, no one's talking to each other. It's like 2 ships passing in the night.
Yeah.
Everyone's on their own schedule. Here, everyone's coming in together, facing the same thing together, laying on the ground at the end, sweaty together, and high-fiving and happy, right? You accomplish something together. So.
Exactly, and I think the biggest thing is you don't have to feel ashamed. Like, I remember, so at a point, I was over 220 pounds. And for me to go to a public gym was so difficult because you're so afraid of, other people looking at you, judging you. And here, while I have some insecurities, it's different. I feel like I've gained so much confidence in myself, like to both professionally and like personally be able to speak up for what I want. And, just be able to be like, hey, I gained some weight. It's okay. I'm still beautiful. I feel like those kinds of things. It's those little things, and you don't realize it until it's like, wow, that actually changed in me.
That's awesome. You're improving yourself on the outside and the inside too, right? Your mindset's changing.
Yeah, it's definitely a journey.
Oh, that's awesome. And I'm glad that you get that feeling, right? Because that's something that we try to promote, is that it's very inclusive. We're asking you to come in and be vulnerable for an hour every day. Not many people feel comfortable with that, right? We're asking a lot of you, right? Hopefully, we're putting out that vibe that, you're welcome to come in and be vulnerable and give it your all and not be self-conscious. Not, like I said, everyone's in it together. Everyone's been where you've been, and everyone's trying to get to a different place.
And I think the neat thing about this is everyone comes from different backgrounds. Everyone, like, when I first came in, a mother was in and she had her kids. They were just coloring on the side, and just to have her be able to come in here and not be a problem that her kids are coloring. That they're still there. It's so accommodating, and I think that's so important. And I feel like CrossFit, Fortis, you guys really care about mental health and well-being, and that is really, really important to me as someone that suffers from mental illness, and
Yeah.
I think that you guys get it. So that, you know, like kudos to you guys for that. Like seriously, hands down, I think that's one of the things that really makes me feel inclusive and like included and welcomed. And
I mean, that's awesome to hear, right? That's what we hope is happening. So to hear that is what's happening is it's good, right? It's really good. So I mean, like we said, you had a couple weeks under your belt, you hit a roadblock, got sick. You're going to be starting back up again this week, so we'll get right back at it. But that's life, right? Life throws you all these different roadblocks and things, and I think part of what we're helping to do here is teaching you how to deal with those and roll with them, and they aren't big things, right? You can handle that. If you can handle something in here that we throw at you, makes it a lot easier to handle stuff out there too.
And I think the biggest thing, what I'm really looking forward to is so I don't really talk much about this, but I have suffered from eating disorders since I was a kid, like from anorexia when I used to dance, and then you know, to gaining weight, and then you know, binge eating, to be able to be told, hey, like Janet told me, she's like, you know, you're able to overcome this, and we're really working together with the nitty gritty and making this happen to the point where you feel beautiful, not just on the outside, but on the inside of what you're putting into your body. You're understanding what you're doing, and I think that's really important. And then just being able to work out for yourself, and not because others feel a certain way about you, whatever it may be. And I think that's really, really important. And like my short-term goals are different than my long-term.
Absolutely.
And I hope that one day you can see me compete.
Hey, that's awesome, right? Write stuff down. Like it's those whys that are what's going to get you through tough times, right? So it's cool if you have identified those right away, both in better eating habits and what's going to push you through a tough workout, or what's going to get you through a tough day. If you've, you know, really realized, well, what is it? Why am I doing this? And like you said, if those short-term goals are different than your long-term goals, that's cool. That, you know, you're gonna work towards all of them.
And one thing that I mentioned in a recent social media post was the reason why I really, really even more appreciate CrossFit Fortis is because one of my biggest concerns coming into any gym is I had a back injury previously, and while it's okay, sometimes, you know, you have a flare-up from time to time. So weightlifting is something that I feel very insecure about, very scared to do, and was never comfortable doing it. What I've noticed here is I started out with a PVC pipe. And that is the biggest thing, because I know a lot of gyms, they'll just put you right on the weights. And I think it's about figuring out what you're comfortable doing, and first of all, figuring out your form, which is very important. And so that's how I know that, you know, you are the trained professionals, because it's so important.
Well, I mean, we're not just gonna throw you to the wolves and hey, here's a barbell, you know, have fun. And in some places that is it. You're on your own, right? But that's what CrossFit is. It's group classes, but it's coached the whole way, and it's mechanics first, consistency second, and then the intensity gets added in. And I think that's definitely a common misconception, is that intensity part is what scares a lot of people away from CrossFit to begin with. But intensity is scalable, and it's different for everyone. You know, the intensity we're going to give to you right away is going to be different than someone else that's been doing it for 2 years. So it's nailing down the basics first, going back and making sure you nail the basics down even more, and then going from there.
And I think the other thing that I want to mention about group fitness, these group fitness classes are different than group fitness classes I've attended before. Whereas that this is actually working together as a team. In a regular gym, you don't really know anybody that's there. And I think that's really important, because here it almost feels like you're doing personal training while you're in the group. And I think that's really a key there, because you're not just another number, because the groups aren't so big to the point where, you know, you are just another number. It's that you can actually ask the coach questions, or the coach will come up to you and say, hey, instead of doing this, you know, try doing this. And I really like that, because you feel like, hey, there's someone at least watching your back if you screw up or anything. You know, like form is very important. So
absolutely. And the coach, I mean, the coaches know everyone in the class. They know your names. It's not, you're not just a number. You're not just a random person that you might see once a month. So
everyone knows your name.
Their job is to get you a little better every day, right? So that's good, and make you have some fun along the way too. So I mean, we talked a little bit about your first impressions. I guess some of your experience with the fitness part of it. Let's talk a little bit about the people, the community. What are your first impressions or your thoughts about that?
I think that's one of my favorite parts about coming here is that it's not just when I'm here, but like everyone, I was sick last week, and I received so many messages, and I didn't even know that anybody knew I was sick. And I think that's just, it touches your heart. Oh, sorry, I'm touching the mic. It touches your heart, and I think that just makes you feel so special, right? And it's the little things, and it's everybody encouraging one another again, like whether it be online or in person, and people taking the time, like everyone that's taking the class with you, taking the time to get to know one another and, you know, hear about your goals and helping you to reach those. I think that's so sweet. And I've never met a community like this. Like, I've done fitness, you know, I was consistent in the past, and have never really had a family like this. And I truly feel like, you know, we form these relationships that are going to be lifelong. It's not just about fitness connects us, right? But I think outside of that, it's like, you know, we're all human beings as well, going through similar struggles, as you mentioned, and it's relating to one another and just helping each other succeed. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really well said, and it's true, right? Like, both in the gym, the support is awesome, because hearing someone, you know, you're going through a tough part of the workout, and you hear someone say your name, hey, Prab, you got this. It pushes you through. It gives you a little extra energy and pulls you along. And then outside of the fitness is like, there's friendships formed here, like real friends, the relationships. There's been marriages formed here. Like, it's like, it, you know, to say CrossFit community is a bit of a cliche, but cliches are generally born from truth, right? And the fact is,
it's not a cult. I will, like, I was skeptical. Like, is this a cult? It's not a cult.
If a cult is a bunch of people caring about each other and striving to be better, then, you know, call us a cult all you want, I guess. But I prefer culture or community, right?
It is. I could agree with that. And it's just amazing. And I think the biggest thing that I want anyone watching this to know is that, you know, if you're afraid to just take that leap of faith, or, you know, if you think that someone's going to judge you, just please, like, just go try it at least. I would encourage you to try this once at least, because it's really life-changing. I thought that, you know, I was like, oh man, I'm not going to be able to do this. I can never do a pull-up. But, and I'm still not able to, but that's going to be a process.
Not yet.
Not yet. And so right now we've tried to start from the bottom up, and how I would actually learn that. And I think that's really important, is that you need to realize that this is all scalable to you. You're starting from somewhere, and all these pro athletes, they also started from the bottom at one point too. So, you know, you can definitely do this. And I'm doing this too, and I'm going through the struggle right now. So yeah,
it's awesome. Well, I mean, I couldn't say it any better myself. So that's probably as good a spot as any to leave it. We'll let you go get to your workout, and we're gonna check back in a few weeks.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, thanks.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye guys.
Subscribe to this channel.